Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins and it is Thursday night, which means it's One Sheet Wonder Night. Tonight I am going to be using a 6x6 piece of designer series paper to create 3 different cards. Now the paper I'm using tonight is called the Iconic Celebrations 6x6 designer series papers. It is going to be part of my Stamp Camp at Home Card Club kit for September. So I'm giving you a little sneak peek. Let's change the camera and get started. So this is that Iconic Celebrations paper pack. And what I love about this pack is the prints in here will bring you from fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and even Valentine's Day. So lots you can do with this pack of prints. It's double-sided. You are going to love it. And my card club members are going to be getting this 6x6 full pack. They will also be receiving these adhesive back textured dots. And then lots of PDF files will be found in the photo gallery for those that are in my club, featuring the different prints, the different holidays, and the club kit will have 4 different cards and they will create 2 of each card. So excited for that. This is the print we're going to be using tonight. It's just going to be a little sneak peek. Now club members do not need to purchase the coordinating iconic imagery bundle. Now this is a bundle, but if they want their cards to be identical to mine, they're going to want to purchase the bundle so that their sentiments are the same. The dies that I use come from the bundle. Totally up to them. But tonight I am also pairing it with the Frosted Forest bundle. Now this is a stamp set, die set, and mask set in the bundle. Now you have the mask with the 2 trees. They look like Christmas trees, which I'll have cards with that shown on my blog. And then we have the single tree here, which I'm going to be using tonight. So we're going to be using that. And we'll be using the thank you from the stamp set. Now, I'm also going to be using the Nested Essentials dies tonight for my cards. They're going to be on all 3 cards. So that's tonight's lineup. Now we're going to start with this piece of designer series paper. And we are going to start by cutting it at 4 inches. And then we're going to turn it to 5 1/4 inches. Save that piece. You're going to take this strip here and we're going to cut that at 4 inches. And then we're going to cut that down to 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, leaving us with this little strip here. All right, so these 2 pieces are going to be on card number 3, and this one we'll use on either 1 or 2, it don't matter. We're going to take this little 2x2, 2x2 piece, and we're going to cut that at 1 inches. So I'm going to have 2 pieces that are 1 inches by 2 inches, and that is going to be card number 1. So that's our cutting up of that 6x6. Now for card number 1, the card base, let me grab this here, is Mossy Meadow, and I got it from the designer series paper. I'll tell you, the designer series paper cardstock colors are Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Pecan Pie. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So fold it in half. So I'm going to give you some, not only one sheet wonder tonight, but some tips and techniques for masking. This is our stitch nested, and I did the Mossy Meadow and the Very Vanilla, and I'm just going to attach those together. Like that. We're going to take these little pieces, and I have a piece of Very Vanilla that is 4 by 5 1/4. making sure that. We're going to take these two pieces and we're going to just attach them kind of in the center on both sides, outside edges of that Very Vanilla. This is going to give us the faux look that that paper runs across the whole piece of the cardstock, when it doesn't. So now I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to use some, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to use my glass mat there so I can get it straight across. Like so. That will give me the illusion that it's going all the way across. I can go ahead and put this on my card front. And then this can go right here. So see, it looks like that went all the way through, and it did not. So we're just going to attach that. Kind of center that top and bottom, side to side, just like that. All right, now we're going to take another piece of Very Vanilla. We're going to take this tree image from the stamp set, and the stamp set again is online exclusive, and it's the Frosted Forest. I'm going to take the Early Espresso ink and ink up my tree. And just stamp that. We're going to die cut this out so it can be anywhere on there. And that's okay that I didn't get that. I should have put a pad under this because it is a clear photopolymer, but I'm totally good with it. We're going to put our masks. Now our masks have a number 1 here, and they have this little divot. So we're going to line up our tree. First I want to take a sticky note and hold down our tree so it doesn't move on me while I'm blending. All right, put our mask on, get that lined up with our tree there. Put another sticky note. We're going to start with the tree trunk here, so I'm going to go with the Early Espresso, and I want to just take off a little bit, and I'm going to start by putting ink there, so when I lift it up I can do all 3. That little tab, I just got to line it up for all 3 of my mask. Oops, and I moved it. And then I'm going to just come in with that Early Espresso. And you can do it as light as you want, as dark as you want. The choice is yours, but that's how you're going to do that first mask. Then you're going to come in with number 2, and you're going to match that little divot right up in the corner there. I'm going to change my ink color, and I'm going to come in with Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to get my mask in place. Let's see if I can't hold this down better. And then I'm just going to come in. And you can use the same ink color. It's just each time, maybe the first layer you want a little lighter, the second layer add a little bit more ink. But you can easily use the same ink. Alright, so that's mask number 2. Now we're going to come in with mask number 3. Let's see here. And then I'm going to use my sticky note. I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow again. And this time I'm going to come in a little bit darker with it. Now I've seen this done as fall colors, which I thought was pretty cool. Then I would probably use the Sponge Dauber So I could just dauber in different like yellow and orange and red on this last number 3 mask. So there we have our tree. And now you would just die cut that out, which I've already got a tree already stamped and die cut out. You see I did a little darker on this one. This one's a little lighter. You can get all your different shading just by the amount of color you put down when you're adding your all right, I'm gonna try to wipe that off a little bit because I know I'm gonna end up getting ink on my cards. That would help if it was wet, but it's not, so we're gonna go with that. All right, bring back in our card. I've already die cut that out. We're gonna pop that up on the front with our dimensionals. I'm gonna put a little dimensional on my tree base here, the trunk. And then we'll take those papers off the back. And we're gonna stick that right down the front here, like so. And then I use the die, and the thank you is from the Frosted Forest. And then the die is part of the iconic imagery dies. That's part of my bundle. It's that one right there. I'm going to use that one and that smaller one tonight. It's part of my Stamp Camp at Home Card Club kit for September, which will be here before you know it. This summer flew by way too fast for my liking. At least it's still nice, but I know that fall is coming, which I don't like. So I didn't put a dimensional in the center, just on the outside edge, because we got our tree trunk that's popped up here. So now I'm just bringing that across. We're going to come in with these textured dots and finish this off. And then we're going to use one of those little leftover strips. I'm going to put a little one right up there. I could go outside of it. Whoops. That one did not have sticky on it. Do I want to go in or out? In or out? I'll stick it there. That one don't have sticky. I kind of ran over it with my chair, so they kind of all got in a clump, so I think some of them lost their spot where it was sticky. So don't run over them with your chair. All right, so my inside is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to use one of my little strips across the bottom. Like so, and then that will go on the inside of this card. You could also stencil a tree on the inside. That's an option. Stencil it on your envelope, but that's card number 1. Card number 2, the card base again is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to fold that in half. We're going to do a couple different stenciling masking techniques with card number 2. I have a piece of Very Vanilla that's 4 by 5 1/4. And I did a die cut of the same exact size using those Nested Essentials dies. I just cut it out of the center. So first what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that these are identical. And we're going to use those sticky Post-it notes. Like so. Maybe I'll have another one just for good measure. And then this time I'm going to take the old olive ink pad and a small, now you can use the small or the large blending brush, it really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to lightly color inside where I die cut out that stitched nested piece. Now to me, this would make an awesome Halloween because to me that looks like a coffin. So I'm sure you can come up with something to put in there. Maybe make the tree in black and it would be a Halloween type scene. But you can do it as light as dark as you like. But remember, it's going to appear a little darker once you lift that off. All right, then I'm going to do the tree first. So I'm going to do the tree again, just like I did before. So we're going to ink this up. And I think before, I'm going to bring in my grid paper. So I think that will help. And we're going to stick this down with our post-it notes so it won't move on me. And we're going to stamp our tree. I should have, well, this paper is a little thick. Give me a little bit of cushion, but I should have used my foam mat. All right, we're going to go back to our stencils. So we need number 1. We're going to line that up over our stamped image. Going to take our, I'm going to just put that there so we get our little divot so we know where to put all our mask. I should have stuck that down. I tell you, I need somebody here hollering at me saying, stick your mask down. All right. We're going to do our tree trunk. Now you can do that as light or as dark as you like. You could also, if you didn't want to do Early Espresso on Early Espresso, you could do the tree stamped in Early Espresso and do the pecan pie over the top. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to bring in number 2. Stencil number 2. Like so. Put my sticky note over the top. You could use painter's tape. I just had the sticky notes here. It's kind of handy. Now you can either use the Old Olive, but I'm going to do the Mossy Meadow again. It's just going to come in a little bit darker over that Old Olive background. You can make it as dark as you like, as light. Alright, so there's step number 2. And then number 3. This actually goes pretty quick. Now I'm going to be using the Mossy Meadow again, and we're just going to go a little darker. There's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece that we die cut out of that first piece, and I'm going to lay that right over the top. I'm not sure if I want to put, I think I'm just going to hold it in place and hope it doesn't move. And I want to go around the outside edge with my Mossy Meadow. What I'm doing is creating a faux layer of Mossy Meadow around my die cut shape. So it looks like I matted it onto another piece of paper when I did not. I'm going to move this so it's this way. So you want to go as dark as you like. I like to get a nice dark edge so that it really looks like I brought in that second piece of Designer Series, or Mossy Meadow. And I'm trying to hold it in place so it doesn't move. you can see how nice and dark. Now when we remove this, okay, looks like that, and you're like, I don't know, that looks like a mess to me. Just hold on. Close up my ink pads here. We're going to take our piece and we're going to bring in the trimmer. And you can make your border as wide or as thin as you like. I took my trimmer and I lined up the edge here with the edge of where that die cut was. So I kind of get it lined up so that I can see it in my crack here of my trimmer, and then I just move it just a hair and cut. And see how that gives you that little border? It's going to give you that border. We're going to do that all the way around. So it is going to look like a layer of mossy meadow was put behind your die cut stenciled piece, I guess. So you could see why I wanted a nice dark edge so it would differentiate from my stitch nested die cut piece there. So see how that looks like it was matted? Just a cool different technique with masking. So let's get back to our card. So this is our card base. I have a piece of our designer series paper, and then I have a piece of Very Vanilla. Now the Very Vanilla is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So just a little bit bigger than our designer series paper. So we're going to attach that. And then we're going to put that on our card front. And you're going to have just a little bit of that mossy meadow card base all the way around. We're going to pop this up. So it looks layered, but it is not. It's just a faux layering technique, I guess you could say. And we're going to put that right down the center like so. I have another one of those same die cuts with the thank you. We're going to put a dimension on each end. No, I'm not. Because this is popped up, I just want my adhesive down the center on here, and then that's going to run across like so. And then we'll come in with those ran over textured dots here. And then for the inside, I have another piece of Very Vanilla. We got that little strip that was left over. Now you could, like I said before, you could stamp and mask and sponge that tree on the inside, or just use that little piece of designer series paper to bring the front to the inside. So that is card number 2. How cool is that? Card number 3, you're going to start out with a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11, and then you're going to score it at 5 1/2, and then at 6 1/2 you're going to cut it off, and then on that cutoff piece you're going to cut off 1 inch, which it's going to go just like this. So these little strips are going to go on these 2 pieces here. Okay, so I'm going to just see if I got a, no, I thought maybe I had a strip of 4 1/4 by, I'll just use this, just so you get what I'm saying. 4 1/4 by 11. You're going to score this at 5 1/2. Then you're going to bring it in and you're going to cut it at 6 1/2. You're going to cut it, and then you're going to take this and you're going to cut 1 inch off from there. This you can save, do whatever you like. But this is your card. This is this right here. That's how I got that. All right, so let's attach our strips to the cardstock. I should have moved that down a little bit. I think it's stuck now. So I'll just make sure that on that one, I move it about the same distance. So that's gonna go like this. This is gonna be like a spanner or an open in the center. We're gonna use that stitched nested dies just like that. So we're gonna attach that. Like so. You're going to line this up at the bottom edge perfectly as if it was still attached. You're going to take your adhesive and you're going to put strip across the bottom and across the top on the back of that stitched nested die like so. Let me see, my computer screen went black. All right, we're good. All right, so I'm going to hold this tightly or nice and straight across the bottom edge. I'm going to take my stitched nested, whoops, and I'm going to center that kind of top and bottom like that, and that just connected my card base. So I have this piece for the inside. And I'm out of tape. I will grab my liquid glue because we are just about done. All right. We're going to open our card up and you're going to place that centered on the inside. Just like so. Now for the front here, I already went ahead and did it because it's more masking. But this time we would use, or this time I used this tree right here and did the 3 different. Now, let me see. This is numbered A. That's C. This one is B. So A, B, and C. So if you want the detail, you're going to use this tree and stamp it. It will stamp all in green. So if you want to see that trunk down the center of your tree, you can come in with the pecan pie, the early espresso, marker, blends, whatever you have, and color in your tree trunk. Totally optional. I did not, but I've seen it done that way. Then you would come in with mask A and do what I did, mask B, and then finally mask C. And then you're going to die cut that out with the coordinating die, and you end up with this. So I did not color my tree trunk. I think it looks beautiful just the way it is. We're going to pop that up. I thought you probably didn't want to watch me mask and color another tree. So we're going to pop that up. On our front here, kind of like that. Then we're going to take the smaller die, this one, same sentiment, just a little smaller, and I'm going to put, I think I can fit the fat dimensionals on there. And we're going to put that across the bottom here. Now, if you like to have a little banner strip, I should have did it before I put my dimensionals on the back, but let me see if I can grab some scrap of that mossy meadow. Here's the scrap I cut off, and I'm just gonna, I do this a lot with sentiments. I like that little banner strip underneath. So I think that's sticky. I'm gonna just try it this way once. I think it will work. And we're gonna put glue because my thing is out across there, and we'll pop that up like so. I don't know if you want to see a little bit of that bottom part, I guess like that. And then take your scissors and you can trim off just like that. And then I got one, nope, he's not sticky either. Take your dots here, and since that's a little strip, I'm going to add just a little one of those to each end of my little banner strip there. And maybe I'll keep with the smaller ones and just put a smaller one there. So isn't that cool? I'm going to take this out of the way because that looks yuck with all our inking. So that's the third card. Remember, we just used one 6x6 sheet and we got these 3 cards. So that was card number 3. Card number 2, we got a couple masking techniques with that one, and then card number 1. So those are your 3 cards from just that one 6x6 Iconic Celebrations Designer Series paper. I used the online exclusive bundle, which was the Frosted Forest. You'll find the links to the everything I use under the video. Don't forget about the stitch nested dies, and then that Iconic Celebrations, and this bundle will be in my September Stamp Camp at Home Card Club. So if you would like to know more about my card club, I will have a link below the video. It will say show more. Click on that link. It's going to bring you to the August club, but the club runs this exact same. It's just the different products that will be in the kit for September. So again, if you need these supplies, click under the video, show more. There's a list. Click on that, any of the list of items that you would like to purchase. It will bring you to my online store. I do appreciate any and all orders. It's what keeps me coming every Thursday. So again, if you are new to my YouTube channel, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell in the upper right hand corner so you always know when I go live. That is it for tonight. Thanks for stopping by.